What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Dominic Cruz has stepped in to defend Joshua Van after the young flyweight champion received criticism for his TKO win over Alexandre Pantoja. Some fans argued that Van's victory wasn't fully earned because Pantoja injured his arm during the fight, but Cruz made it clear that the injury didn't just happen on its own. In his view, Van caused the injury through technique, timing, and execution, which means the win is absolutely legitimate. Cruz began by congratulating Joshua Van, calling out the fact that he's now the second youngest fighter in UFC history to capture a championship. He pointed out how impressive it is for someone so early in their career to rise through the ranks that quickly, with only one real hiccup on the way. According to Cruz, that kind of consistency is incredibly rare, especially in a division as unforgiving as flyweight. He praised Van's entire fighting style, describing him as someone who is always pushing forward, always willing to engage in dangerous exchanges, and always staying technical under fire. Cruz highlighted Van's head movement, his fundamentals, his balance, his footwork, and especially his dedication to boxing basics like the jab. He went even deeper by explaining the mechanics behind the injury that ultimately changed the fight. Cruz said Van created that moment by catching the kick and lifting it with strong fundamentals. Even if the elevation wasn't picture perfect, it was the correct technique, and the way Van lifted the leg forced Pantoja off balance. That awkward fall is what led to the arm injury. To Cruz, that wasn't luck. It was a direct result of Van applying disciplined technique in real time. Because of that, he believes Joshua Van should feel fully proud of the championship he earned. Cruz also mentioned how exciting it is to see Myanmar represented through Van's success, saying the country is rising in the MMA world, and Van's championship reign could inspire even more talent. He wrapped it up by saying the flyweight division has a bright future with Van as the new champion because his style, energy, and rapid progress make him one of the most compelling young fighters in the sport. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, the backlash toward Merab's coach, John Wood, has been building ever since UFC 323, all stemming from his decision to tell Merab that he was up 3 rounds against Petr Yan. The criticism picked up even more steam after Wood appeared on the Ariel Helwani show, where Ariel asked him to explain exactly why he believed Merab was ahead at that point in the fight. Ariel said that, watching it from home, he personally scored it 50-45 for Yan, or at the very least, 49-46. And he mentioned that from the broadcast it seemed like Wood truly believed Merab was winning. Ariel wanted to know whether that was simply the perspective from the corner, or if Wood felt any differently now after revisiting the fight. Wood admitted that watching it live from the corner gave him a very different impression than what he sees now. He said he has always felt that he's been pretty good at judging how a fight is playing out from his position, and he genuinely thought Merab was the busier fighter, pushing the action and staying active. But looking back at the footage, he could see that Yan had the bigger moments. Yan landed the cleaner, heavier shots, produced the more visible reactions, and caused the most damage. Wood brought up how blood can change the optics of a fight in real time, making everything seem more dramatic or more even than it actually is. He acknowledged that many people thought his call was wrong and said he has to go back, study the fight again, and figure out how to avoid making that kind of mistake in the future. He said that in the moment, he and the entire corner truly believed they were up in the first couple of rounds. By the time the 3rd round rolled around, things were already getting a little dicey, and he agreed that rounds 4 and 5 clearly belonged to Yan. Still, he emphasized how different the perspective can be when you're in the corner, dealing with pressure, noise, adrenaline, and the emotional investment you have in your fighter. Sean O'Malley weighed in on the situation as well, and he didn't hold back. O'Malley said Tim Welch once gave him better advice by simply telling him, "Your opponent is faster than you." And even that, he said, was miles ahead of telling a fighter they're up 3 rounds when they're not. He joked that Tim telling him his opponent was faster was somehow more useful than hearing you're comfortably ahead in a competitive fight. O'Malley finished by saying that being in the corner can make things look different, but accuracy matters, especially when a fight is hanging in the balance. Moving on to another news. The back and forth between Petr Yan and Merab has taken on a life of its own, turning their rivalry into one of the most entertaining storylines coming out of the weekend. After their fight, where Yan secured a unanimous decision victory, the two immediately carried their competitive spirit over to social media. It all started when Yan posted a photoshopped picture of himself relaxing in a jacuzzi surrounded by women, with Merab serving drinks in the background. He captioned it with a simple message, relaxing after the fight. It didn't take long for Merab to answer right back with a playful jab of his own. He shared a photo of himself sitting in a jacuzzi with women around him, while Jan appeared in the background doing landscaping work. Merab added a cheeky line, asking what's going to happen in 2026, keeping the tone light but competitive. Jan didn't miss a beat, responding by saying that in 2026, Merab would need a wife and kids. Merab fired back with equal humor, saying he's looking, my friend. The exchange had fans laughing, but Merab soon shifted to a more serious tone when he posted a heartfelt statement addressing his loss. He thanked his family, friends, fans, teammates, and his country for the massive support they'd shown him. Win or lose, he said, they always stand by him, and he expressed deep gratitude for that loyalty. He apologized for disappointing anyone, but promised that he would 100% return stronger and ready for war, determined to reclaim what he believes is his. He clarified that he was fine despite the damage from the fight, mentioning just a few stitches, and reassured everyone who reached out that their messages meant a lot, even if he couldn't respond to all of them immediately. Merab admitted that Saturday simply wasn't his night, and he gave full credit to Jan for being the better man in the cage. He congratulated Petr Yan and his team for the victory, but made it clear that Jan shouldn't get too comfortable. According to Merab, he wants a rematch as soon as possible, and he's already mentally preparing for his return. Jan responded to the message with a brief but respectful note, wishing Merab a quick recovery. Merab ended the exchange with a simple, "Thanks, champ," keeping the rivalry respectful but still full of intensity. Moving on to another news. Payton Talbott is riding the momentum of his win over Henry Cejudo at UFC 323, but he made it clear he isn't obsessing over chasing the bantamweight title just yet. Instead, he's far more focused on testing himself against the toughest matchups the division has to offer. In his interview with MMA Junkie, he reflected on the performance with a calm confidence, saying he thought he did pretty good overall, scoring 2 takedowns on Cejudo, a former Olympic gold medalist whose entire career is built on elite wrestling, felt huge to him. He said that's Cejudo's bread and butter, so being able to beat him in that area felt surreal, almost unreal in the moment. Talbott joked about retiring a legend, calling it pretty cool to put down Old Yeller and finish the career of someone considered one of the division's greatest. But he didn't linger on the idea of being a legend killer. Instead, he said he feels like he doesn't even have a choice now. With a win like that, he knows he'll have a number next to his name, and that's exactly the position he wanted to be in. He said his goal was to get into the top 10 and start swimming with the sharks, and now he's right where he wanted to be. He explained that he was calm all fight week because he knew that if he went in, did his job, and performed the way he trained to perform, everything would fall into place. That piece helped him stay sharp, patient, and composed when the cage door closed. But even with this monumental victory, Talbott emphasized he's not super fixated on chasing the belt right away. He said what excites him most is putting on banger fights against the toughest guys in the division. He wants the hardest matchups, the ones that push him, the ones that make fans tune in because they know they're about to see something wild. For Talbott, it's about the journey, the challenges, and the thrill of competition more than the gold strap itself. Moving on to another news. The situation involving Jamahal Hill and Joanna Jedrzejczyk has taken another turn, as both fighters have now spoken publicly about their altercation in the VIP lounge at UFC 323. If you missed it, footage surfaced across social media showing Jamahal confronting Joanna in a heated moment, telling her he would knock her out if she touched his girl. That clip spread rapidly, pulling both of them into a wave of commentary and speculation. And now Joanna has released a detailed statement addressing exactly how she feels about the entire incident. She began by saying, "Hi guys, I worked so hard to earn my reputation, and I'm embarrassed to be in this situation." She explained that when someone uses her name in a false way, without any truth or real basis, she will always stand up for herself, and because of that, she believes she did not deserve to be threatened. Joanna emphasized that she has always been mindful of the fact that she is a strong and capable woman, someone who has spent a lifetime developing self-defense skills, discipline, and confidence. She added that she recognizes her platform and understands she has resources that many other women unfortunately do not have. Because of that, she expressed empathy toward women who face disrespect, intimidation, or threats but don't have the power, protection, or means to speak out or defend themselves. She said she stands with them and that speaking the truth matters, especially in moments like this. Joanna went on to say she expects more from society as a whole, and she especially expects more from athletes within the sport, people who should understand the weight of their actions and the example they set inside and outside the cage. She also took a moment to thank the UFC security team and staff for their professionalism throughout the situation, acknowledging the way they handled things and helped de-escalate the conflict. Joanna ended her statement by saying she considers the matter closed, and she wished everyone a happy and healthy holiday season. Moving on to another news, Henry Cejudo has officially closed the book on his MMA career, and he did it with a message that was equal parts honest, emotional, and proud. Reflecting on his loss to Payton Talbott, Cejudo shared a long statement on X, giving fans a clear look into his mindset as he steps away from the sport for good. He admitted that the fight didn't unfold the way he imagined. It wasn't the ending he had pictured for himself, but he also said it wasn't the worst way to go out either. According to him, the streets were saying he went out in a blaze of glory, and after watching those final 10 seconds, he couldn't help but agree. He gave everything he had left in him, leaving no doubt that he went out fighting with heart, grit, and pride. Cejudo followed that by thanking the UFC for giving him a life he never could have predicted, a chance to extend his athletic journey far beyond his wrestling days. He said he could confidently look back and say he accomplished every single thing he set out to do from the moment he walked into the octagon wearing those gold shorts. He then went on to thank his entire support system, including his team, his coaches, his teammates, and his management. But more than anyone else, he thanked his family, explaining that they were the reason he was able to give this sport his absolute best every time he stepped into the cage. In his own words, he never fought for a paycheck, he fought for them. It was that dedication, that purpose, that kept him pushing through all the highs and lows of a long and decorated career. And with that, Cejudo made it clear that he's ready to close this chapter and step into whatever comes next. He signed off in true Triple C fashion, making it official with a simple declaration: Triple C is out. Moving on to another news. Khamzat opened up about his brief altercation with Ian Garry after UFC QAR, and he didn't hold back on how he sees the situation. He said he wasn't even planning to bring it up because, to him, the moment had already passed and didn't deserve much attention. But once the topic came up, Khamzat made it clear he doesn't understand why people keep giving Garry hype. He said there's no real reason to talk about him unless it's to show that Garry just wants to be like Conor, copying his style, his personality, and the way he carries himself. According to Khamzat, Garry wants fame, and moments like this only help him get more attention. Khamzat said he has no issue speaking about him if that's what people want, joking that talking about Garry will make him famous anyway. He described Garry as someone who's always trying to act like he's a huge superstar, even though he hasn't earned that status yet. He said Garry wants to be Conor so badly, but Khamzat doesn't think he's anywhere close. Still, he said if giving him a little shine makes him happy, then so be it. When recalling the moment itself, Khamzat laughed and compared it to something small and silly, saying it felt like dealing with a cappuccino, something light and sweet that doesn't really matter. He said Garry's energy reminded him of someone trying to taste his cappuccino, trying to step into his space, but it wasn't something he took seriously. Khamzat kept repeating that he didn't want to give the situation more spotlight than it deserved, because that would only help Garry get more hype. However, Khamzat did say it would be sweet to eventually fight him. He joked that it would taste even sweeter than that cappuccino if he got the chance to face Garry in the cage. And when the conversation shifted to Alex, he added that he'd fight Alex too. No problem at all. To Khamzat, whether it's Alex or Garry, it makes no difference. He said he's always ready, always hungry, and if either of them wants to step in front of him, he'll happily take that fight whenever the time comes. Moving on to another news, Jamahal Hill has now released a long video on his YouTube channel, giving his full side of the altercation that went down with Joanna inside the VIP lounge at UFC 323. Right from the start, he makes it clear that the narrative circulating online isn't accurate, especially the part about his girlfriend being involved. According to Jamahal, his girlfriend wasn't even at the event. He said they went upstairs to the VIP area, and as he walked in, he greeted everyone there, including Diego Lopes and Andre Philly. Then he approached Joanna, greeted her politely, and she immediately asked where his girl was. When he told her she wasn't there, Joanna started teasing him, calling him Mr. Player and Mr. Big Time, which confused him because he had no idea where the energy was coming from. Jamahal said Joanna began going on about being from Poland and not playing these games, telling him she didn't know how people behaved in America, but insisting she was a real gangster. At that point, Jamahal tried to slow things down and asked her what exactly she thought he said or did. He asked her multiple times if something was said, if she heard something, or if someone told her something. But according to him, she couldn't tell him what the issue was. Instead, she kept repeating that he was talking without explaining what she meant. He said Joanna suddenly flipped, got louder, and even began threatening him. According to Jamahal, she told him she should have smashed his girl's head in and could smash his head in too. That's when he drew the line and told her that if she touched his girl, he would knock her out, and if she touched him, he would defend himself. UFC staff then stepped in and pulled her back as she kept yelling and making threats. Jamahal went on to explain that all of this seems to trace back to an incident years ago in New York when he admitted he drunkenly shot his shot with Joanna. He revealed some of their old messages, saying they chilled briefly, had drinks in a car, and then went their separate ways without any drama. He said there was no bad blood, and when he greeted her at the event, he did it respectfully. But her manager, according to Jamahal, was subtly trying to stir things up by dropping hints to Jamal's girlfriend, which led to an awkward moment where his girlfriend directly asked Joanna if she had slept with him. Jamahal said he never told anyone that, and only admitted he had tried to sleep with her back in the day. He showed more of their message history to explain how things went down, and insisted he has no idea why she's mad now. Later, Joanna responded to him on X, writing, "You are full of lies, Jamahal. I know the truth, and yes, it's a shame you didn't have a camera on." A user replied suggesting Joanna was just mad that Jamahal moved on and got a girlfriend, and Joanna quickly responded, "I would never," before replying again with laughing emojis.